I think that, if I never was, I obviously played that game in Connecticut, and that's where I kind of felt.
WNBA may have flinched first, and honestly, the timing could not be worse. Caitlin Clark's future might already be taking shape before anyone is ready to say it out loud. What looks like a simple off-season delay is actually one of the most intense power shifts the league has faced in years. And whether the league wants to acknowledge it or not, Clark is sitting right in the middle of it. This is not about routine negotiations or dull paperwork. This is about money, leverage, control, and a league trying to stop its biggest opportunity from turning into its biggest problem. At the center of all this is the collective bargaining agreement. And this time the players are not quietly making requests. They are pushing firmly for real influence. Revenue sharing, meaningful salary growth, and structural power changes are all at stake. The previous agreement expired quietly, and instead of a smooth renewal, there was silence. That silence is what opened the door to everything we are seeing now. Free agency was supposed to be the calm stretch before the season begins. Instead, it is stuck in limbo. Without a signed CBA, nothing moves. No contracts, no roster adjustments, no clarity. Teams are frozen while the clock keeps ticking, and each passing day tightens the schedule. The league tried to stay composed, but the numbers are simple. If free agency gets pushed back, everything else gets shoved forward. Training camp cannot just shrink itself. Draft preparation cannot be rushed without consequences. Expansion planning takes time. Yet all of it is being squeezed into a narrowing window that feels more like damage control than organized planning.
No decision of this is the end of my season. I had full intention of returning, and I think in a way that was probably positive for me because
this is where Caitlin Clark stops being just a rookie and becomes real pressure. She is not simply another new player entering the league. She represents one of the biggest commercial boosts the WNBA has seen in decades. Ticket demand jumps. Broadcast interest rises, merchandise sales increase, social engagement grows, mainstream attention follows. The league knows it. The teams know it. The networks definitely know it. That is why any delay that clouds her debut feels risky. And this is also the part where I have to say, if you are enjoying this breakdown, make sure you hit subscribe and like the video.
I was going to play, I was going to get back out on the court, and it probably would have been even more devastating and crushing knowing that I was never going to be able to put my uniform back on for the rest of the season. But, you just approach it.
The scheduling patterns are telling their own story. Certain teams are being stacked with national TV windows, heavy early season matchups, and high exposure that only makes sense if the league expects immediate attention. That is not random. That is intentional positioning. One team stands out clearly, and that is Indiana. The Fever are being treated like a franchise expected to draw serious interest from day one. Tight turnarounds, high visibility games, very little easing into the season. That is not typical for a rebuilding team. That is how you handle a team built around a centerpiece. The league may not be able to officially announce anything yet, but the schedule is speaking loudly. At the same time, front offices around the league are uneasy. If free agency starts late, teams lose leverage and players gain it. Roster mistakes become harder to fix. Expansion teams already facing pressure might be forced to take risks instead of building carefully. That is where the CBA demands start to feel explosive.
Yeah, honestly, I've been working really hard to get back to full health, and I feel like probably over these last couple of weeks is when I've probably started feeling my best. Obviously, my ankle.
The push for a significantly higher share of revenue is not symbolic. It is a clear signal that the league's growth is real. More money is coming in, and the players want that reflected in actual compensation, not just promotional messaging. Salary structures, caps, and contract limits are all being questioned at once. That makes ownership nervous for a simple reason. Once you increase financial commitments, you cannot easily reverse them. The league's delay in offering clear public updates has only fueled speculation. Every vague response adds to the sense that negotiations are more intense than anyone wants to admit. And when pressure meets deadlines, something usually gives. The biggest fear is not a complete shutdown. It is a rushed agreement.
I just went to kind of make a move, and unfortunately my ankle completely rolled all the way forward, and probably one of the worst sprains I've dealt with. But
because a rushed agreement leads to a rushed season. A rushed season leads to sloppy basketball. Sloppy basketball leads to injuries, poor chemistry, and frustrated fans. And all of that could happen right as Caitlin Clark is stepping onto the professional stage. That is the nightmare scenario. Clark thrives in structure and rhythm. Throwing her into a compressed preseason with limited practice time and unsettled rosters would not just be unfair, it would be irresponsible. Yet the league is edging toward that possibility after underestimating how much leverage the players now hold. Expansion adds another layer of complication. New teams need time to review protected lists, build identities, and avoid becoming afterthoughts, trying to squeeze expansion decisions into the same tight window as free agency and draft preparation is incredibly difficult. Still, the public message is that everything is under control behind the scenes. That confidence is wearing thin. Coaches are mapping out backup plans. Medical staffs are preparing for shortened ramps. Marketing teams are promoting a season that may not start smoothly. Agents are advising players to stay flexible because nothing feels finalized through all of this. Caitlin Clark has stayed quiet publicly, but her impact is obvious. Wherever she ends up instantly becomes a focal point. Schedules adjust around her. Broadcast priorities shift. Opponents circle those dates. That level of influence usually belongs to veterans, not rookies. But Clark is not arriving like a typical rookie. She is arriving as a major event. Indiana's positioning feels intentional. The market is there. The fan appetite is there. The visibility is there. And the schedule reflects expectations of immediate relevance. That does not look like a slow rebuild. It looks like a spotlight. If the season does get delayed, the irony would be tough to ignore. The league risks softening its biggest surge of momentum just as public interest peaks. Fans are ready right now. Media attention is here right now. Momentum does not politely wait. Everyone says a deal will get done. But the path to that deal is narrowing. Every concession costs something. Every delay increases pressure. Every leaked detail shifts public perception. This offseason was supposed to be about excitement. Instead, it has turned into calculations about survival. For Caitlin Clark, the destination may already be quietly taking shape, but the timing around it feels unstable. Her arrival feels certain. The environment around it does not. If the league is already adjusting the calendar, what else might be shifting behind closed doors? And are we about to witness one of the most chaotic superstar debuts the WNBA has ever seen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.